Hey guys, Kev here, and I want to do first impressions on these three knives. Two of which are my knives, two new acquisitions, and one of which is a loaner from a local buddy. Actually have his card right here, or sticker right here. Stafford's EDC over on Instagram, and then on YouTube he's at Casual EDC. So definitely go check him out. I'll link him below. Really cool dude. I actually was at his house today, and I met up with him and the homie Backpack B, and we did a little collection diving. I got to be a part of the collection diver series with Brent that he does, and that was really fun to kind of hang out and see him work, man. He takes it serious, man, and he really puts in the work. So it was really cool. Can't wait to see that episode of Collection Divers come out on Backpack B's channel. If I remember, I will link that below as well. But Corey's the one who loaned me this, which I'm very grateful because I've been getting a lot of questions about whether I was going to get one of these or review one of these, what I thought about it, and yeah, so I'm glad I got one in to check out. This is the Wehr Knives Lukas-P. This is the production version made by Wehr. So I guess we could just start with this knife, right? I'll put the other two over here for now. This is made by Wehr, and you are looking at S35 VN steel, which is an interesting choice. A lot of people are talking about. And obviously there's the maker's mark from Wehr. I believe his name is Matt. Can't be positive, but I think so. And this knife was a pre-order that came out sometime in the summer or spring of 2021. It was right around the same time as the pre-order for the Brian Brown Raptor and the Berg Blades Barber. I actually had one of those, and I was kind of seeing those three as sort of a set because they were all around the same time. They're all sort of like these boutique sort of brands or custom makers doing production runs, and they all have thumb studs, and they're made by Wehr. So it was kind of, you know, a set of three there, but the Barber just didn't work for me. That clip was brutal. And I haven't picked one of these up. I may, though. Now that I've handled it and everything, I do really like it. So it's possible that I will pick one up, but we'll see. But anyway, there's a size comparison to the Brian Brown Raptor. I do have a Hogue Deca in right now. I know that's probably something a lot of people have. So size-wise, you can compare that right there. It's a smaller knife. I mean, probably a little over 3 inches, 3 1/4. It's almost dead on with the Deca. Seems like handle-wise it's the same, but maybe there's a little bit more edge or a little bit more blade on the Deca, but it's really close. The Brian Brown Raptor is a little bit bigger. I always like to show it like that and then in front because I know it's kind of deceiving with the camera angle. It's a little bit bigger. This one's probably closer to 3 1/2. And that one's more like 3 1/4. Again, both made by Wehr. And yeah, so the options on this were this, so titanium, and then you got an inlay of either this natural or / brown micarta or green micarta. And then the inlay versions with micarta came as a bolster lock like this. And they came with a acid wash blade, which in pictures, this is what everybody says. In person, it looks way better than it does in pictures, and they're right. As soon as I saw it in person, I was like, damn, they're right. This actually looks absolutely sexy as hell. So I actually wouldn't mind having one with the stonewash, to be honest. It's a good contrast, and this thing is extremely ergonomic. But anyway, there was also a plain titanium version with a Wehr belt satin, which is cool. This is a really nice hollow grind on it, which is awesome. Now, the controversy there was the S35 VN steel. A lot of people thought at this price range he should have at least gone with M390 or LMAX. You know, I don't know what to say about that. I think these were about $330 on pre-order. I sort of no longer am looking at S35 as like a budgety steel. I mean, it is, but at the same time, if it's on a knife like this, it doesn't bother me. I really like S35EN. I think maybe Wehr just likes S35EN. Maybe it's his favorite steel. Maybe he wanted an American steel on his knife. I don't know. I don't know the reasoning. I don't know if anybody's asked him. I feel like it'd be a simple answer. Cost-wise, it's not. It couldn't have been that much of a difference on a knife like this. With titanium and the bolsters and everything. The money's really going into the build, right? And then the steel, I mean, I couldn't see it being more than like $10 or $12 more per knife to jump it to M390. So in the long run, that wouldn't have made that much of a difference, but, you know, who knows? Anyway, I'm fine with the steel choice, so whatever. Ergonomics in the left hand, this thing is extremely comfortable like this, extremely comfortable choked up like this. You can get right up on that blade. If you want to go into a pinch grip, it's really nice to kind of wrap around right here. You get right up to that tip for some precision. I do like, it's sort of a clip point blade, right? But it doesn't really have an upswept tip, so you can kind of get down. I don't know why all of a sudden my shoulder hurts, sorry. So that actually is pretty comfortable for it. Now, this is first impressions. I got this today in on loan, so I haven't really had a ton of time to mess with it, carry it, or anything. So keep that in mind. I haven't cut with it yet. We can do that real quick. I've heard the grind on these is extremely good. Whoa, okay. Yeah, I mean, it feels sort of gritty, if that makes sense. Like, normally I would say it feels sticky, like sharp, which is good, but I don't know. Seems pretty good. Might just be, you need to throw it on the strap for 2 seconds and it'd be good. You can see the kind of material on there, so it could just be that too. Corey is a dude. Sorry, my fly was down. Corey is a dude who uses his knives. Doesn't matter what knife it is, what level of knife it is, he uses it, I'm pretty sure. So this could have some use on it. But anyway, it feels pretty good. Nothing you wouldn't be able to just strop out. And that hollow grind feels excellent. Really feels excellent. This jimping right here is really light and sort of, I wouldn't say pointless, but it doesn't provide a ton of traction. But I kind of like that. I don't want it to be really stiff. The more I'm handling this, the more I kind of like it, guys, to be honest. The clip. This is a talking point. You have this much sticking out of your pocket. It is a freaking lot of knife to have sticking out of your pocket. We are going to see, as we go through this review process, how that is. Because my fear with this knife is, so a lot of people are poo-pooing it, saying, that clip sucks, right? I'm one of those people. But at the same time, in my front pocket, I wouldn't care all that much if I had, you just have some knife sticking out, whatever, right? Unless there's a situation where you can't. But for me, as a lefty, I carry righty knives in my back left pocket, and I'm pretty concerned that this will catch on something, hits, it'll get scratched up, or, I'll lose the damn thing. There's enough of it hanging out, it might fucking mess the balance up, and it'll flop out of my pocket like this or something, So we'll see. But so far, it's not the end of the world, but it is sort of an odd choice. Like, it seems really weird that they went with that. Why not just move it back here? I don't know. There's got to be a screw. There might be a body screw under here holding in the frame. Like, you could have somehow worked that in. I don't know. It seems odd, but I wonder if he designed it one way and then Riot said the only way to do it consistently, with all models, you'll have to do it like this and lower it, right? Because he might have had it on the titanium version. He might have had the clip up here with that body screw. But then when it comes to these micarta ones, you want to hide the screws. And I don't know. Who knows? Could have caused an issue. I want to zoom in real quick. and show you this micarta. Riot's pretty much standard brown natural micarta. It's pretty smooth, actually. You can see the titanium is just raw. I really like that. There's that beautiful acid wash. And what I wanted to point out were these studs. They are, I think, identical to the Barber studs that they had, except they seem somehow better. And I think it's because this is flat and it was rounded on the Barber. I don't know. I've never felt like I'm going to slip off of these. Where the Barber, I always sort of felt a little worried I'd slip. I never did, but I worried about slipping off. So I really do like these studs. It's sort of a good marriage. A good marriage of the Raptor studs and the Barber studs. Action-wise, right-handed, you have a thumb flick, which is fantastic. You can drop it like that and then smooth shake down. The lock bar is a little bit sensitive if you touch it, so it won't drop as much if you're on it. But if you stay off, it's very smooth. This is without this being tuned at all. There's no play, nothing going on in there. You can reverse flick it as well, right-handed. Now, left-handed, because this version is a bolster lock, you can just put your finger right on the clip because the clip's so damn low and line it up, bang. It flies out of there with the reverse flick. Lefty thumb stud flick feels great. And then you just disengage and bang her down. The detent brake is right here. So, pretty early. I mean, that's pretty damn good for me. Especially on a thumb stud knife, you're going to go right past it, right? So overall, I'm really digging this thing. I can't wait to throw it in pocket and kind of see what is what. But I think I've spent enough on this knife for right now. So there we go. That's the Lukas-P from Wehr Knives. This right here is the Chavez Redención Street. So I don't want to spend too much time on this because I've reviewed the 229, and this is basically a smaller version. So imagine the 229 being a 3.6-inch blade, and then just shrink it down to 3.25. That's essentially what you have here. Here's that Deca again. Put that right there. And again, it's going to be almost dead on with that. Put it in the front, and you'll see the Deca's a little bit bigger, but not by much. So there's that. Anything else you guys want to see it compared to? I guess I could compare it to the Nimble. A lot of people are getting these now. 3-inch blade on the Nimble. There you go. All right. I just ordered another one of these. I hope you guys got one if you wanted one. So basically, this knife I opened on a live stream along with the next one, and I've really enjoyed it. I didn't like it at first, really, but the more I've played with it, the more I've liked it. I have sort of promised it to Backpack B at this point. He wanted it, and he missed the drops. And I don't really know if it's going to be a long-term keeper. It does have sort of these sharp edges like the big boy does. And for me, with my hand, it's sort of, exaggerates that because it's getting, those corners are right in my palm, where the big one, they'd be out here. It's a little more comfortable. But then again, it also feels a little more comfortable in hand because my hand fits this one a little better. It's not, the frame's a little bit smaller. So all in all, I think I like the size of this one better. Being careful because of my nails. I don't want to get another crack and a cut. This knife, well, the Big Brother was the reason for that because of this right here. The way he terminates the edge with this silly choil that doesn't do anything. I don't understand. Just give me a full choil or bring it back here, right? So that we get more edge. I don't understand why he does that. You can hold it like this, but I mean, be careful, obviously, right? But anyway, you can drop it to your nail like that and let it come down if you want. I'm not going to do that. You can see the cut right here, the tang or whatever. So I kind of ride up here and let that hit me. And then you got to guide it a little bit with your finger because the one big issue with this knife is either the detent is late or the detent ramp is long. Shout out to, I believe it was Anthony who was explaining that to me, Urban Legend. Right here is where I start to notice the detent. That's really late. I mean, again, let's compare that to the Lukas-P we just had out. Similar build and everything, right? That one, you feel the break right there. Look at that difference. Let me make sure the handles are straight. I mean, look at that difference. The angle on this, that angle is way less than this. Look how exaggerated that is. That's incredible. So as soon as I pass this right there, now I can just drop it down, right? On this knife, it does have a ramp where that one doesn't, it seems. So you can kind of like, if you put enough pressure, you'll get it past with a flick. But it just sucks that you have to get past that. I mean, it's still not past it. So right here, it's past it. And now you can throw it down. That's really late, in my opinion. Now, I don't know if that's on purpose to help with the drop shut thing so people don't hurt themselves. I don't know. This thing has almost become drop shut once it does pass. It's, I mean, one shake and she's down. It's not quite guillotining, you know what I mean? You have to guide it a little bit. My guess is a little more break-in and pause. If I put skiffs in there, this thing would be dropping like it's hot, baby. But overall, I really like it. I think it's a good size knife. You know, I like the looks of it. Now, Backpack B actually has the full size in this exact spec. So, again, kind of makes sense for him to get it. Although I think his is a hand rub and this is a belt satin. Now, I'm not saying, you know, something could change, but I'm just telling you right now who seems to be the person getting this. The edge is phenomenal. This M390 is extremely sharp. Riot did a great job there. And, yeah, so that is the Chavez Redención Street. This is the Gen 4 in full titanium and the Tanto. So there's a quick look at it. No milling inside. That would be nice if he started milling these. There's the M390, and you get your hollow grind back here, flat up here, and it's razor sharp, and you get that really, really tough jimping. Pretty much the opposite of that Wehr. So that's the Chavez. I do really like it. I'm tempted to just keep it and maybe even mod it or something. I just know, like, it's not something I would carry. It would just sit in my case. And that's something I just don't like to do. You know, I had that 229 for so long, but I barely carried it. It just was a badass knife in my collection. I don't really need to do that. You know, there's no point in doing that for me. I hate these clips. The knife's too heavy. It's a little obnoxious. It fucks my nail up. Like, it's just silly to keep it. So, next up is the Richard Rogers OEM Slim Utility or Slut. And, if you guys have been watching the channel long enough, you'll know I had one of these already on the channel. So what is different and why did I get another one, right? Well, first off, I'm going to do a disassembly video of this right after this. I didn't want to combine it because this is already going to be too long probably. And people who are interested can just watch that. I had the Blurple version, and when I got it, I bought it off of, or I traded Jake. Shout out to Bearded Gear for that. And I traded my Anthem for it. And I really wanted one because I'd always seen how awesome it is. I think I first saw it on Stas's channel, Stasa23. And by the way, go check out his collection videos. Holy shit. And I think his collection video was, again, the reason that re-sparked my interest. So he started it the first time and then just did it again. So I bought this twice now because of Stasa, basically. But the first time around, this thing was so hard to get at the time. This was like 6 months ago, maybe something like that. And I'm going to clean this off because it's covering the steel marking. Hold on. There's like black juice coming out of there. You can see there. It's M390. I traded my Benchmade Anthem for this, which was worth like $400 at the time, probably. Maybe even more. And these were going for $450. But new, these were like $250, $300, right? So when I got it, it had a squeak, and there was just some issues with it. And the D10 is light, which it still is. It's not like uber light. It's just you can fail it if you want, but if you just go to the top of the slot, you're good. But I don't know. I just had issues with it, and I ended up selling it because I knew it was worth $450. And this little knife, like, it just, I don't know, just seems silly to have $450 sitting in it. So then, fast forward now to last week, and I saw that collection video, and I was like, I really want to try a slim again. So I put in search of in the Facebook group, and I got a few messages. And one of them was actually from Sally Rogers, who is Richard Rogers' wife, who handles the, I guess, customer service for them. You can see there, Rogers Design. This is OEM by Best Tech, and it's done for Rogers. And then they sell them on their website or Lottos or whatever. You can see here, centering is pretty close, a little off to the clip side. Love this milling pattern. This is the blank slate version, so it's just plain titanium, bead blasted blade of M390, and it's on bearings. Titanium liner lock right there. And let me zoom back out. It comes with this clip, and then it also comes in the box with 2 screws, so you can take these long screws and the standoffs out, and you put the 2 screws in to make it flush, and then you have a clipless knife, and it comes with a nice leather slip. So it's really cool that they do that. But anyway, Sally Rogers reached out and was like, hey, I have some of these that I haven't sold yet. We haven't put them on the website yet, so if you're interested, let me know. And I was like, shit, right? And she had this version and the carbon fiber version, which the carbon fiber is on washers. So if you get one, just keep that in mind. The titanium ones are on bearings, and the carbon fiber is on washers. And I had other people reach out to me too with slim utilities. So I ended up, silly, but my buddy Ninja, Evan, Knife Ninja, he bought one of the ones that somebody reached out about, secondary. It was a blue one, titanium one. So he bought that. And then Brent, Backpack B, and myself bought this version. I actually bought 2, and then he paid me. And Sally Rogers sent him one and sent me one. And then Knife Nerdery, Kevin, reached out to Sally, and he got one. And then last night on our live stream on The Edge, which for me is, that was Saturday the 15th, we had Jacob Lundquist on. Shout out to Kvist Blade Works. There was some people in there that wanted one, and I gave her information, Sally Rogers, and they reached out, and hopefully they got one. And I did talk to Sally today. She thanked me because I reached out saying, sorry, I gave your info out. I figured you'd want to sell them. And she did, but I felt bad that I did it without asking. So anyway, it's all good there. And if they still have some, you can hit up Sally Rogers on Facebook. Just go to the Facebook group, and you can figure it out from there. But they had these and the carbon fiber with washers, and they're $300. And guys, it's just really good. The action's good. The ergos are good. It's just a great little knife. That's the thing. It's little. Here's the Aloni Goat version 2. That knife is bigger than the Slim Utility. Okay. We have the Nimble again. 3-inch blade. A little bit bigger than the Slim Utility. So I don't know the specs on this knife. We could actually check, because this is one knife where I am sort of curious. Whenever I get this knife, it always ends up smaller than you think, From the frame, it is roughly 2.8 inches, so they might call it 2.75. I don't know. And overall, am I going to get the overall? No, there's 6.62 right there. And then add the 0.58, so 6.63 or something. It's a very small knife, guys. It's super thin. we can look at the thinness here, or whatever you want to call it. 0.35, right? It's probably a little more than that. There you go. 0.38 on that. Just a really slim blade. I mean, what's the blade stock? 0.09. Like, so you get it, right? It's a small ass knife. And it's just cool to have a little knife like this that flicks so well. Now, you'll hear the lock stick. And I think that's my fault because I put nano oil on the detent ball, and I think maybe I shouldn't have because it leaked up onto the lock bar. And this is a titanium liner lock, so that could be the issue there. I've cleaned it a couple of times. I've tried putting graphite and Sharpie. I'm going to take it apart, like I said in another video. I might try skiffs. We'll see. I did try that on the one I had, and I ended up having to send it back because I don't know if I fucked something up, or it was really early on before I like really knew what I was doing, maybe, or I've learned a lot since. I don't know. The action is like incredible already, right? But the pivot did walk a little, and I'm probably gonna have to Loctite it. So I figure I'd get in there, maybe try skiffs or something, and just clean out that lock bar and see if I can get the stick out, because that sucks. Worst case, I can always send it to Knife Modders and see if they can carbonize it again, because I'm sure it was by Riot. And then they could do that. I'm almost tempted to buy another one. Like, it's crazy. I kind of want to buy another one and send it to Knife Modders and get it, like, just pimped out somehow. But I don't know. That's kind of going crazy. But, yeah, I'm really loving it. Those are my first impressions on the Richard Rogers Slim Utility, or Slut OEM, the Lukas-P from Wehr Knives, and the Chavez Redención Street. There you go. Some cool Riot knives and a Best Tech knife. Best Tech did a good job on this, guys. I got to give them props. So that's it, guys. Check out Stafford's EDC. Check out Backpack B. I'm sure I mentioned some other people in there. Check them out, of course. And, yeah, I love you all. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will catch you later.